What's up, Soups? This is your boy Infamous, and let me tell you, Chapter 4 is epic. Now for those who are new to the series, we're talking about Guardians of the Galaxy, and this game has been amazing. Now like I said, I loved Chapter 4, it was really good. Now this is the part of the game where the systems we talked about in earlier chapters and other videos really takes off. I enjoyed this part of the game due to the fact that this is going to be the most conversation and some really interesting dynamics that you're going to see for the Guardians. Now as we left off in Chapter 3, I made the decision to go with Rocket over Groot, which just spiraled into all kinds of craziness and different outcomes I didn't expect. I can't explain enough how much I'm loving the decision making system for Star-Lord in this game. It makes me think back and say, hey, what happened if I chose the other answer? More importantly, we get introduced to one of the most entertaining villains I've ever seen in a Marvel game, that being Lady Hellbender, a character ruthless but charming at the same time. It also touches me at times when there's conversations between her and Drax and how that kind of plays back to what Drax was thinking in the earlier chapters. It definitely makes me feel like this game does come back full circle in some of those conversations. But of course, because of how things played out, they do not go as planned, and Lady H is absolutely pissed. Plan switched up and we do what Guardians do and we rob her, of course, but it is a weird twist I didn't expect while playing through this chapter, which means this game really does have you guessing. Within this chapter, we're also introduced to more enemy types that really spice up the gameplay versus the standard hordes we got in the last chapter, so Adios, good on you for actually doing that and spicing it up for us. I love the fact that we have those different enemy types, but sometimes in these fights it can feel a little repetitive. But the repetitiveness ends here because not only did we get to go against our first real boss fight, which felt awesome, it felt nice to take on a big level boss that wasn't just some kind of monster that is just gonna die in a couple hits. No, this was a challenging boss, and I love the fact that we're gonna have challenging opponents, which only leads to more victory when we win against them. Now of course, with all the things that I loved and have been loving about the chapter so far, it definitely had some issues, as I felt as sometimes during the big boss fight there was a lack of directions and had me wasting my supports, which for those who are playing, you know you don't want to waste those supports as they are very useful. Not to mention I was having some camera angle issues when I was fighting against the big boss battle because of the tentacles slamming around, so it made it a bit confusing and had me jumping to other sides of the screen. And one thing I really wish they let us do in the game is there's a portion where there is some motorbikes being used by the Guardians and we don't even get to use them in actual gameplay. I really feel like that's a missed opportunity, especially with the tie back to Tron in the bedroom. Lastly, the thing that I am not loving about the game is playing in stream mode. Now of course, being a content creator, I have to play in this mode if I end up playing any content from the game itself because it's going to have copywritten music, but it really does kill the hype for those big boss battles or fights when there's no music playing. I know there's streamer music in the game, but when there's no music playing for boss fights or just fights against enemies, it really kills the vibe, and I wish there was better music to be bumped. But either way, it's fine. I just wish there was more music. Nonetheless, I enjoyed the chapter a lot, and I hope to see some of the positives trickle into the rest of the game. That all being said, without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and pay my fine over to the Nova Corps, and I will see you guys in the next video. And if you want to see more content like this, make sure you do leave a like, share the video out, and hit the subscribe button, and I will see you guys all in the next video.